Welcome to Election Time, where we literally count down to the November 1st local government elections. Today we focus on Bushbuckridge local municipality, which has been hit hard by service delivery protests earlier this week. Community members say the municipality is failing to deliver basic services. Bushbuckridge Municipality Mayor Silva Nxumalo Kunjulwa Pilani, who's a DA councillor, Bushbuckridge local municipality president of the APC Themba Godi, and Surprise Kubai from the EFF join us now to talk about this municipality. Let's lay down some ground rules as we begin to look deeply into this municipality. First, I will give you 2 minutes each to make your opening remarks, and then we'll talk just a little bit about this municipality, a question or two, and also feel free to respond to what some of the panelists are saying. And then as we finish our conversation, I'll give you each a minute to wrap up the conversation and tell, of course, the voters, remind them of why they should vote for you. When your time is up, I'll come in, I will stop you and move on to the next candidate. I'll begin with you, Mam Nxumalo. Mayor Nxumalo, tell the viewers why those in Bushbuckridge should vote for the ANC.
Good evening, Bongi, where any of you are at home. As the African National Congress, we are reminding our people to go and renew the mandate, as we have done a lot of things for this community. We are having a very good story to tell. We managed to reticulate, in terms of water provisioning, we managed to reticulate 26 villages, which was not having reticulation before. We managed to do that as the municipality of Bushbuckridge. We managed also to drill boreholes, 171 boreholes that we have drilled, being assisted by the Department of Human Settlement, to make sure that we assist our community in terms of water provisioning. We internally managed to purchase 12 water tankers to assist in terms where there are problems in terms of water, to make sure that we augment on that. As the municipality of Bushbuckridge, in terms of electricity, we managed to install 171 high-mast light or Apollo light in our community to make sure that everyone is seeing lights, as we have not done that before. In terms of the road, we managed to pave roads, 271 kilometers of the road that we have paved. We escalated the road paving to all the villages in our municipality, or all the regions in our municipality. In terms of the program of upgrading of streets, we have been assisted by COCTA to make sure that we upgrade our street, do the grading so that our street can be accessible. In terms of the audit finding in the municipality, we managed to improve as the municipality of Bushbuckridge and find an unqualified audit outcome. In terms of the LED Bongi, whereas the municipality of Bushbuckridge, we managed to construct 4 malls, which were not there before when we come to that municipality. So we managed to do a very good job. That's why I said we are having a very good story to tell to our community to go and vote the African National Congress. Bongi.
All right, you were just in the nick of time there. Kunjula, the ANC says it's got a good story to tell. Why should the voters vote for the DA?
Sanbonani, Minjan, people of Bushbuckridge, I'm sure you know the story the ANC is telling you, and you know that most of what you've heard is a fairy tale. But this is what I'm going to tell you. South Africa and Bushbuckridge are beautiful places. Bushbuckridge is a place that thrived once with agriculture and tourism sector. Currently, we're not thriving at all. Unemployment is so high. But where the DA governs, where the DA comes in and you give them that mandate and you give them that trust, the DA turns you around. The DA makes sure you have clean and good governance coming in, make sure that service delivery happens, all the things that the mayor is talking about. In the next few minutes, when I'm able again to speak, I will talk about reticulation of 26 villages. And we all know in Bushbuckridge, they reticulate without being connected to a main source. They put pipes in the ground, but there's no connection to a main pipeline. That is why we're having water issues in Bushbuckridge. They say they've drilled boreholes. I can verify currently with the documents I sit on, they have actually not contributed much besides maybe 20 or 30 boreholes. The rest were donations. They talk about 12 water tankers. Yes, we have those water tankers, but are they servicing the whole of Bushbuckridge? 171 highlight masts, Apollo lights. Those, most of them are donated by the district, not by Bushbuckridge local municipality. 271 kilometers of roads paved. the municipality spends around 11 million on 10 kilometers of paving. Now you tell me, whose story are they telling? Which good story and legacy are they telling besides making themselves rich at your expense, but Bush? So currently, where the DA comes in, we do the job and we do it for you. We do not enrich ourselves in any way at all. So it is a choice for the people of Bushbuckridge, again, as I say. They want fairy tales or they want someone who actually comes in and does the job.
All right, let's move to you. Surprise, why should the people of Bushbuckridge vote for the EFF?
Thank you very much, Bongiwe, and good evening to the viewers at home. As the EFF, we are ready to take over municipality in Bushbuckridge because this municipality is the most corrupt municipality, is the poorest of the poor municipality. We don't have access to water. We've got Nyaka Dam here in Bushbuckridge that supplies water to communities that are not in Bushbuckridge, but this dam is here in Bushbuckridge. We are supplying water to people from Nelspruit, supplying water to farms in Akonuk, farms in Hoekspruit. So as EFF, when we take over, want to give our people water because for the past 16 years where we've got local government elections here in Bushbuckridge, all the mayors who have came in, all of them, the three of the mayors that have came in, they've promised our people water, they've put the pipes underneath, but all the pipes are not giving our people water. So in Bushbuckridge, we've got a problem of water. We've got 205 villages here in Bushbuckridge. They've regulated 13 communities here in Bushbuckridge, but all of those people, of those communities that have regulated, there's no water that is coming in. So our people here in Bushbuckridge, they need water because water is life. Under this pandemic, we were asked to go sanitize, wash our hands. How are you going to wash your hands when you don't have water? So as the EFF, when we come in, because our people, whenever there's a mayor that is coming in that is promising people water, our people are going to be excited because they want water because water is life. But the rest of the mayor, there's no water here in Bushbuckridge. The second thing, Bongiwe, is that here in Bushbuckridge, there are no roads. There's no service delivery here in Bushbuckridge. Why? If you don't have roads, how are you going to access areas that are going to give this place some economic activities? So
unfortunately, your time is up. Your 2 minutes is up. Surprise, we're going to move to the APC now. Mr. Godi, why should the voters pick you?
Well, thanks very much. Bushbuckridge is the second biggest municipality in Mpumalanga with a healthy budget, but with very serious backlogs. And this is on account of poor and visionless leadership. We, as the APC, have a vision for local government that says service delivery and good governance are the basis to fulfill its obligation. We are making a call to our people in Dwarsloop, in Khohlu, Tulamahashi, Shatale, to vote for the APC so that they can pay a flat rate. All the summonses that they're getting from lawyers and all the debts, unaccounted debts that they said to be owing are going to be erased. All those of you who were denied food parcels last year, you come to the APC, we're going to redeem you. We want a ward-based budgeting system so as to ensure that every ward on an annual basis has a guaranteed amount allocated to it so that issues like roads, water, and all the requirements that our people have in Bushbuckridge can be attended to. Bushbuckridge is a rural area. The corruption of the ANC is totally unmatched. And there are so many of the officials out there and a lot of other people that you see assassination attempts from people who are fighting over public funds that are supposed to be used to benefit our people, but that is being used for their own personal ends. So as the APC, we are saying we need to end corruption. We need to ensure that there is good governance so that our people, whether they are in Zuknoch or whether they are in Flubukani or whether they are in Rondosi, they can feel that.
Mr. Kodi, unfortunately, your 2 minutes is up. Let's move on then to the mayor. Mayor, you say that you've got a good story to tell. I'm listening to the panelists tonight. They talk about corruption that is unmatched. They talk about no service delivery, no water, no roads. They talk about reticulation that is not connected to the main source. It doesn't sound like a good story, though.
We are having a bank water system that is running from Ekonuk up until Elsington, where we are putting on a reticulation to our community. We have done that in Ward 21 in Bethel-Souk, where they were having bank but no reticulation. So as the ANC, we managed to do that. That is a good story to tell. We also have upgraded in terms of the water, the bulk supply in Mkhultu to make sure that it moved from the 20 megaliters to 27 megaliters, so that our people down in a COP can be able to get water. That is a good story to tell. We are having paving, which is an ongoing or multi-year project, which is also ongoing now, which is a very good story to tell. Before, we were not having in the paving in the municipality. So for now, we are having those paving in our rural areas where there was not R29 towns. So we make sure that as far as Kubukan, there is paving. Before, there was not that paving. So that one, it is a very good story to tell. We were not having in terms of corruption, that is saying those who have been found to do corruption, they've faced the mighty law, and they have been, some of them have been convicted. Every year, there's an AG that is checking our books. We are having an unqualified audit opinion for the last 3 years. It shows that in terms of finances, we are doing our best to make sure that there's no money that is going nowhere without our knowledge. So in terms of the...
Pardon me, Mayor, we're going to go for a quick breather and come back. But I want us, when we talk about this, as we really look at what is going on here, I want you to tell me if 11 million is justified for a 10-kilometer paving. Let's talk about that, though, when we come back on the other side of this. Let's continue then our focus into the Bushbuckridge municipality. We still have Mayor Sylvia Nxumalo Khunjula-Pilani, who's a DA councillor, Bushbuckridge, in the Bushbuckridge local municipality. We have the president of the APC, Themba Kodi, and Surprise Kubai from the EFF in Mpumalanga. I'll come to you, Khunjula, because I saw your reactions as the mayor was speaking. You are still not convinced, because the mayor says that it's a good story to tell.
Bongiwe, you know, I sit in that council. I've done so now for the past 5 years. And there's nothing more shameful than when you sit there and you actually see the public purse being swung around with no care, no consequence. I made a mistake when I said it was 10 kilometers of paving, because I remembered I queried this quite a number of times. It's actually 1 kilometer. Another one was 1.2 kilometers. Another one was 1.1. Each single one cost the municipality around 11 million rands. Each single one. It's on document, black and white.
So, Khunjula, wait, are you saying there's 11 million rands that have gone out here?
No, there's 11 of them. I can count the villages for you. It's Akonuk, Tulamahash, Mkhultu. There's one in Bushbuckridge. There's one now that's happening in Jinkot. There's another one that happened, I think, around your Cottondale, wherever side, that side. It's 11 villages all in all. It's in black and white. It's in a document. After this whole thing, I can take out my documents, scan them for you, send them to you, so you can also have that proof to know that Bushbuckridge is just dirty.
So for someone listening tonight, are you saying that 11 million rand was spent collectively, or each cost 11 million?
It was around 110 million rands that was spent for paving. Paving that was less than 15 kilometers all in all when you put it together. We queried this from all the parties, but at the end of the day, the DA called for a division in council, and we requested to be removed from all of those decisions, because we felt that if that is what's happening with the public purse, we cannot be party to it. We cannot involve ourselves in that. We asked them to reconsider and to justify the spending of so much money, and they came up with no reasonable possible way.
Mr.
Do you understand? Nothing made sense.
Mr. Kodi, 110 million rand spent on paving. Alarm bells have gone off here.
Well, yeah. Well, we know the challenges of price inflation. Actually, with the paving. I remember in my village in Matsavane, even before they could start paving, the report that came before council was that 6 million had been spent. And fortunately, our councillor who comes from the village, that village comrade, Fred Imbanzi, queried it, and they quickly withdrew the documents and said, no, it was a mistake. I think the issue of pricing, especially in municipalities where looting is so crude, it's actually how money is spent. I'm sure you have seen recently the stories around infrastructure in municipalities in the Eastern Cape, where a little bridge costs 20 million, 30 million, 15 million. It's all part of that practice. It is corrupt in Bushbuckridge. The ANC is corrupt, very, very corrupt. And there's no way the ANC in Bushbuckridge could be an exception to the rule that we see everywhere all over the country.
Sure. Surprise, you talked about no water, no roads, you know, and also saying that you're decrying also the state of service delivery in Bushbuckridge. Listening to, you know, the amount that we're just talking about, and this is just in relation to paving. This is money that could have gone far towards assisting residents in terms of getting access to running water.
Yes, thank you very much, Bongi. You see, this government of the ANC, they don't have capacity to provide service to our people. The thing that they're talking about, especially the issue of the paving that has been costing us 1 kilometer, is costing us 11 million. The problem also is that they are using this money to build in a provincial roads, because in Agincourt, where Comrade Tembagod is coming from, that road is a provincial road, but the municipality have used that money to build the road there, and they've never asked for deviation for those things. It's because they wanted to loot money for campaigning. So in Akonok, also they are using that money in a provincial road. Also in Subukani, where they've paved 1.5 kilometer road, where it cost them 12 million. So in this municipality of Bushbuckridge, there's no capacity from the leadership. They don't even go to council because they are using their majority in council to just bypass the processes on where they need to pave the roads, whether this road is belonging to the municipality or this road is a provincial road or a national road. So this municipality is using money. It's using money to surface all these roads that they are saying they are building. But in reality, when you go to the ground, there are no roads that have been built. Even where they say they are paving, if you can check the 1 kilometer that they are saying they have paved, when you find actually there is 500 or 600 millimeters. So when we've got a problem here in this part of Bushbuckridge, because the ANC, they are using its majority to pass a budget, even in the issues that they are not supposed to be passing budget. So the roads that have been constructed here, they are not. They don't worth the money that they have spent in terms of this budget that they've said they've spent.
Surprise.
So we've got a problem in Bushbuckridge.
Surprise, I'm going to ask you just to sit back a little because your face keeps cutting as we're talking to you. But let's move then to you, Mayor Nxumalo. You're listening to this. I mean, 6 million rent spent before paving was even beginning. 11 million rand for 1 kilometer when it comes to paving. 110 million rand, according to the Democratic Alliance, was spent on paving. Surely, this is not a good story to tell. 1 kilometer costing 11 million rand. Mayor.
No, thank you very much, Bongi. What I can say is that before you construct a road, there are consultants and all the processes that is following before you can start constructing the road.
So how much did you pay the consultants?
Come again?
How much did you pay the consultants then?
It's part of the payment, even though I cannot quantify it now, but it's part of the amount that is being paid as a full scale. What I can say that we are having internal auditors in the municipality which check in terms of whatever that we are doing, in terms of pricing and all those things, up until a tender is out and someone is being awarded the tender. The good story that I'm saying we are telling it now is that we managed to do areas where there were no paving before. So as the ANC, we managed to push up until to the rural areas where we were not having paving before. So that is why we said we are having a good story. The 6 million which Comrade Chamber is talking about, I don't remember we passed something like that in our budget. We are having a very credible budget in the municipality, and also the IDP, which we are using every year in and year out. So I don't remember the 6 million that is talking about being part of our council resolution. What I can say is that we give each and every region in our municipality and 10 million to make sure that they assist in terms of paving our road, especially when we look at the road that leads to schools, to the graveyard, and all those busy places that we are using. We are busy working in every day in our different areas. So we have managed not to concentrate only on the R229, which is Mkutu and Shatale Dwarslope. So in the Dwarslope and other areas where there are R229s, we are having a project that we are patching our potholes to make sure that it's accessible to everyone. So that is why I'm saying we're having a very good story to tell. Whereas we are having a lot of things that we manage, we are audited, like I'm saying, annually by the AG to check in terms of our books as to whether we are moving according to the law. Like I'm saying now, as the municipality, we are in the 3 consecutive years getting an unqualified opinion, which shows that our books are in order. We are doing things according to the book.
All right.
Bongiwe, can
yes.
I come in on the clean audit? Well, we congratulate you on having a clean audit, which means you are able to account and to some extent follow processes. But a clean audit does not talk to service delivery. And I would have loved if you had spoken about your predetermined objectives. I went to your website and I found that your 2018-2019 annual report and your 2019-2020 annual reports, they are not there in your website, so people cannot access information, because your predetermined objectives are what actually tell us the extent of your delivery versus what you had set for yourselves, and whether the targets that had been set are actually going to have an impact on the ground or not. Now, in their absence, I hear you, but then we're not able to quantify it. So we can only make general statements. You know, Bongi, whenever I go to the shops, the road I'm using at Dwarslope, it is being patched almost every 2 or 3 months. There are never-ending potholes because the quality of the work is not good. And phase 1 in Dwarslope has really been left behind for many, many years without the potholes being attended. So I think whilst there should be some level of breast beating, especially around the clean audit, we need to acknowledge that the impact in terms of the quality of life of our people is not yet there, because then that is what determines how whoever is majority and all of us who are in council are able to work in consent, especially when it comes to delivering services to our people.
I'll come to you, Surprise. One of the things, when you're reading, what is coming out of the campaign trail, your leader, Julius Malema, said in Akonhoek that young people can have as many as 10 children. The EFF government is going to support them. I didn't hear you say anything about that for young people in your ward. Is that what you're going to be promising them? Should you take over?
No, thank you very much. The president of the EFF, when he was in a campaign mood here in Bushbuckridge, he went on to promise our people that our people must get jobs, because we want to turn Bushbuckridge as an industrial area. Because when we talk about massive job creation in the EFF, we want to have factories here, because we can't have malls all over Bushbuckridge, but the equipment that are being, the products that are being sold in these malls are not produced here in Bushbuckridge. We can't have a mall that is buying tomatoes somewhere in Nelspruit or all of those things. Here in Bushbuckridge, we've got is an agricultural area here in Bushbuckridge. So majority of the items that are used in malls are supposed to be produced here in Bushbuckridge. We need to have tomatoes here in Bushbuckridge. We need to have even the mask. Bongi, remember when we started these things of lockdown, we were asked to get masks. Where are we buying masks from? So it can't be that here in Bushbuckridge we are just consumers who don't produce anything. Our people must not rely on social grant, because when we are relying on social grant, you know, Mbongo, that the social grants are not sustainable. We want to bring sustainable jobs for people of Bushbuckridge, because it can't be that here in Bushbuckridge we're just consumers and don't produce anything. We want to turn Bushbuckridge as an industrial area like it used to be before.
So hang on, Surprise, are you then contradicting what the EFF leader said? Are you saying then that they must not rely on the state, but he says that the state will be able to support them should they have 10 children? So you are saying that they can't rely on social grants. I'm hearing two different messages here.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying social grants for now, they receive social grants, but we are planning as the EFF to industrialize Bushbuckridge. So that when Bushbuckridge is industrial, our people are going to get jobs, they are going to be working. This social grant is not sustainable, because if all our people are going to be social grants are meant for older people, people who are living with disabilities, people who can't do anything for themselves, but the youth must go work.
Okay, Surprise, let's leave it there. I'm a little bit confused, though, because it sounds like these are two different messages, but it's fine. We're out of time. I'm going to give you, each of you, a minute to remind the voters why they should vote for you. I'll begin with you, Surprise.
No, as the EFF, we are saying to our people here in Bushbuckridge, let them vote for the EFF, because we wanted to have, as the mayoral office, we must get an indentured list that our people that are receiving social grant, and then those people that are receiving social grant, they must automatically, when they finish their matrix, they must be accommodated in a hearing of their choice, because majority of our people, they receive social grant from and then to matric, but when they get to tertiary level, they are expected to pay exorbitant funds because it's registration. So that is why it's the fundamental campaign of the EFF is encouraging our young people to go to the schools where they believe that they want to enroll, and then they must work in the EFF Student Command has been assisting our children. So also when we want our people to receive jobs here in Bushbuckridge, because Bushbuckridge is an agricultural area. We need our people to farm. We need our people to produce fruits for that our can sell in all.
Time is up. We move on from you, Surprise. Let's go to you, Kunjulwa. Your minute starts now.
What I'd like to say is that the good story to tell, I can tell you a good story. Where the DA has governed and where we are governing, we do actually deliver. We don't give you a pipe dream and make you hope for something that's not there. When we put water and we tell you we're going to give you water and we reticulate, you're actually getting that reticulation connected to a bulk supply that is actually going to deliver water to your house. And currently the system, that's not how it works in Bushbuckridge. We are saying to you, where we govern, look at Tshwane, we fixed over 10,800 potholes. That was in 6 months. In Cape Town, we've done such a great job. Johannesburg, we had it for 3 years plus minus. We did a great job. So currently, if you give us, South Africa, listen to me. If you trust us with your votes, we will deliver. It has proven time and time again. We deliver where we govern. That is the good story to tell. Maybe the ANC should just coin it that way and just say the DA delivers where it governs. That is the good story to tell.
Kunjulwa, in 5 seconds, before I move to the ANC, it's not true, though, that in Tshwane all the potholes were fixed. I'm a resident of Tshwane. There's been potholes I've been driving over for the past year, which have only been fixed now because of the elections. So that is not a good story, though, for the DA, is it?
Yes, but I said to you, there's 10,800 potholes that we fixed in 6 months.
But can you imagine what it does to my tires, though? So that's not a good story because I'm a resident.
I live with the same system in Bushbuckridge. But what I'm saying to you, where we are in Bushbuckridge, that has never happened.
Can the people of Cape Town in Khayelitsha say the same thing, that where the DA governs the service delivery? Because there's been a whole lot of service delivery issues in that community.
Yes, I can tell you that. We do work for the people in Khayelitsha. We do deliver.
Okay,
do you understand?
Let's move on then. Let's go to you, Mayor Nxumalo. Your 1 minute starts now.
No, thank you very much, Bongiwe. From Ward 1 up until Ward 38, vote the African National Congress. We have already started to resuscitate the Bushbuckridge clay bricks, which is one of the major projects that will assist in terms of providing jobs. So as the municipality of Bushbuckridge, we say vote the African National Congress. We do have bursaries. We do have a lot of projects that will assist our community. I can tell you we have a very good story to tell. Vote the African National Congress. Thank you.
All right, and Tata Cody, you have extra time there, I see. A minute starts now.
Thanks very much. I want to say to our people at Bush, vote for the APC. We have the capacity. We have put in candidates who are good, experienced, knowledgeable, trustworthy, who will be able to deliver services to our people. We have committed ourselves to ensuring that each ward has a budget on an annual basis to make sure that services are delivered continuously. We will make sure that roads are tarred, all roads that lead to villages are tarred. We know that Bushbuckridge is a water-stressed area. We are going to implement a system that ensures that there is equitable sharing of the scarce resources of water. We will also end the nepotism and the corruption that sees officials who get appointed a few months down the line that driving Range Rovers whilst our people are languishing in.
All right, time is up. And Dada Godi, thank you so much to you all, Nakensa Ngomu, for your time this evening. We do appreciate it. That was Bushbuckridge Municipality Mayor Sylvia Nxumalo Kunjulwa Pilani, who's a DA councillor in the municipality, President of the APC, Taba Godi, and surprise goodbye from the EFF in Mpumalanga. Thank you to you all for your time. On the other side of